to do this as a test run. Hopefully we'll see how things go today. We'll see what's going on. Hello, everybody. It's me, Ganon136, also known as Patrick. We're doing a test run of this to see how it kind of goes, and we'll see what kind of goes from there. We're going to have a fun discussion today. Hopefully a few of you guys pop on in. We'd love to chat with you. We'll see how things go. But yeah, guys, we're doing a test run of this today. We're going to be doing a little bit of just hang and chat, as well as just kind of like discussing a few things as we go along. Of course, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, as usual, I'm sure. There's a lot of stuff going on in the social space. The Discord community has been great. We're going to be talking about the charity today over there for Red Shirts Remastered, and a bunch more. All right, so let's see. Let's see how this thing's going so far, because we are live and direct. Yes. All right, real quick. This is my first video on my channel in ages, so I think it's time it's fair we do a little bit of catch up. Kind of walk through my YouTube history on how things go. So for those of you guys who aren't familiar with me all that well, I started way back in 2008 on 2008 on YouTube. I want to say that sounds about right. 2008 on YouTube, and kind of started off as like a kid in school, just doing silly videos and seeing where things went. And then it kind of branched out. I got more into vlogging and that sort of stuff. It's always been really interesting to see how my channel kind of like progressed way back in the day. We did a lot of stuff for NORAD Track Santa back in the day. I did the Santa tracking thing for the kids every year. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. That was always a fun experience, getting to entertain for the kids every single Christmas Eve. I really enjoyed that. Tracking Santa for the kids all over the world. I mean, we got people watching globally every year, and I think total after all 15 years of when I was there for the group that did it, and even after I left, I think we easily entertained over 50,000 households worldwide, which is saying something for a small program that only ran one big stream. Really one day a year, and then a few extra little things around that day on other days. So for that to happen and that channel to be so successful over there, I really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. I made a lot of great friends that I'm still friends with online. Like Marcus Pearl and Braden Thomas and Nick Tay, Luke Dillon, who's literally like my neighbor from down the road. Well, he was my neighbor down the road. He just moved, but I won't get into exact details on that. But yeah, those guys were great, and so many other names of people I've met there over all those years. It was really fantastic, a really fun time. But yeah, I'm mainly focused on vlogging and live streams and trying to see where that would go from there. And it was just a really fun experimental time on YouTube back in the day. I really had a lot of fun doing it. I know a lot of my friends who did stuff around me, they told me they had a lot of fun, with some of the projects we did. Like I went to an air show with a bunch of my friends, for crying out loud, 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago, just over this past, this summer, just 10 years ago, if not 11, I think now. We went to an air show. We did a whole like vlog. It was almost 20 minutes long. It's so crazy. What we were able to accomplish. And then over these last few years, I had done some marching band stuff for my old high school. That was a lot of fun. Recording some of their shows, helping get those video clips to the band director and to the kids, to help them improve on their show throughout the marching band season in the fall. It was a lot of fun. It was a really fun time. It was an interesting time. But I really enjoyed doing that. And the reason I started doing that is one of our band moms, back when I was still in high school, she actually recorded the bands. And she put them up on YouTube where we could watch them. And even after her kids graduated, I was like, you know what? That was so amazing. You did that. I want to start doing that too. That's like really cool. It's going to help those kids, get to the next level. And so it was just a really fun time. Got to go to so many Friday night football games, watch my old, high school football play and some really fun games. And then I got to befriend, the future band director after I left. He was a really nice guy. got to talk to him and, get those videos out for his kids so they could, do just a top-notch job. And I felt like those videos did help a lot. Sadly, the lady that used to record us when I was in high school just passed away this year of stage 4 cancer. It was really sad. And I did put up a memory of her, to, just say, hey, like, thinking about you and your family, during this hard time. And I put up the whole memory about how she used to record us. And it was so amazing how the response from, her family on that, they thought it was so awesome that I would remember something like that. And, I put up a video clip that she had recorded of us. It was really cool. And then around like 2015, I started doing some funny sketch stuff like, the Baywatch parody, Star Wars Battlefront, and some other reactions around Star Wars. So, and we'll get into this in a little bit, because I need to discuss some stuff that's been going on in the community. We definitely need to do that. Real quick, let me share the stream, guys. Hold on just 1 second. I'm going to share the stream out real fast because I got to get it shared on over on X real fast. Hold on. I got another way I can do this. Let's do it the other way. I'm doing this on my phone. First time trying this. Ronnie J does it through his phone. So I was like, shoot, if Ronnie J can do it through his phone, I can do it through my phone. So it's interesting. And I do need to update my my page because my page is ancient. It is. So let me get this out. I'm going to share this over on Discord here a little bit and a few other places. Let's see here. I'll share this. Let's see here. How can I do that? I'll figure this out. I think I do know how to do it on here. You go up here. Is that how you do it? I'm trying to remember how you do this on here. Yeah, I got another way I can do it. Always got a backup plan, Let's see, you're going to work for me today? Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes it wants to work. Oh, no wonder. That's off. That's why. Okay, let's try this, shall we? We'll do that. I can do that. That'll work. Doing this a weird way, but we're going to get it out there. We're going to get it out there because I want to have these discussions with you guys. Hold on a sec. All right, so I'm doing this kind of live and on the fly here, so just be a little patient with me. Doing this in a weird way. There we go. I'm just not thinking straight. There we go. All right, so we're going to discuss a few things today. Some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff that's been going on in the community. But I really just wanted to start this off as kind of as a catch-up thing with you guys because so many of you guys I have not talked to in so long. It's been, a really long time. I've got some thoughts on some things. I've got some stuff I would love to talk to you guys about. Some stuff, that's happened in my life. Some changes over the years. Because there's a lot that's happened in the last, 8 to 10 years. And I don't put up a lot of videos. I don't really talk about some of that stuff. I kind of want to talk about some of that stuff today. So, I figured today's the day, let's shoot the shit, Nothing wrong with shooting the shit. Absolutely not. So yeah, it's just been interesting. So where should we start? Where should we start? I just heard a ding dong. What was that? I don't know. Something's going on here. All right, so still working on stuff, trying to work out the kinks, guys. We're finding this out as we go. I'm working on this as best as I can, figuring stuff out. Message requests, no, not that. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's people posting messages. I got it. Okay, I see. All right, I'll figure this out as we go. It's all good. I think I know what some of this stuff is. Some of it's automated messaging. So whether you're watching this live or on the replay, I do want to say, if you do like this sort of content, definitely drop me a like. And if you're just somebody new checking me out for the first time, drop a subscription, guys. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of content over here. If you look in the description, I actually have a link up for our link tree. I generally do content for Red Shirts Remastered. That's the group of friends I'm with right now. Mainly Twitch and YouTube is what we do a lot of, more than anything. I'm always on there gaming with the fellas, and right now we're doing a charity month. I'll go ahead and plug that now. We are raising money right now for FMF and AID Global Association. We'll have that. I'll make sure to add that in the description as well. We'll get that link. I'll edit that later. So if you guys are interested in donating to our wonderful cause, we're helping kids all over the world. Help get therapy appointments, help pay for medications or doctor visits. It's just little things like that to help with anti-inflammatory conditions. It's been a wonderful condition we've all been a part of for the last several years. Chris, our buddy, is actually the guy who runs a lot of that stuff for FMF. And what's cool about our charity is any of the money you donate goes directly to the cause itself. It's a fantastic cause. I've really enjoyed it. It's been just a fun passion project over the last few years to see where things are going. All right, these guys have been talking about the PS5 Pro, because if you guys haven't heard today, there is a PS5 Pro thing that happened. I'll check that out later. We'll watch that here in a little bit. Oh, that's great. Empire State Building shared that picture from that when they did that Star Wars experience on the Empire State Building, where they projected it, back a few months. Was that a year ago or so? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that was just like a really interesting time in general. And yeah, it's crazy. All the stuff that happened in the Star Wars sphere in terms of content has just been all over the place. But we're going to talk about a little bit of that. All right, so we got the charity plug out of the way. All right, let's go back to my YouTube channel here. We're going to talk about my YouTube channel. And I can't share my screen because I'm doing it through mobile right now. But we'll go through. We're going to walk through this. And anybody just joined, welcome. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to chat. Use the chat or lurk. Either way, welcome on in. We're going to kind of go over my YouTube channel from where I'm at right now, and we're going to kind of walk through some of that stuff. It's just, yeah, I kind of want to walk through every step of it. So let's take you back to 2008, guys. All right, let's see here. Videos, oldest. All right, so my first video is called Info on My Upcoming Video. I literally did a plug for my first video. And it's kind of funny how this is kind of a test stream in 2024. Dang, that's the 17 years. So I guess it started in 2007, really, with YouTube. So 17 years later, I'm kind of giving you info on what's coming up with me, whether it's here or elsewhere. We'll see what happens. And then I went right into animation, guys. A Guy Named Guy was my first series I did. It was a funny little thing I did back in, I would have been in middle school then. Just a fun little stick figure series. I did it in MS Paint, and what I did is I'd make these cool things in MS Paint, where it'd be like frame by frame by frame, and then I would just do voiceover and stitch it all together in Microsoft Movie Maker. It was really kiddie. It was a lot of fun. I did a collaboration series with my buddy Cameron in real life way back in the day on his channel. When that channel still existed. I don't even think it exists anymore unless it's privated. But my character appeared in some of his videos, so we did collab videos there. They don't exist anymore as far as I'm aware. I did some funny lip sync videos with my brother Marcus. They were really fun. Did some with Bradley occasionally, but it was mainly Marcus. Marcus really jumped in those. We did a Numa one back then. We did I Like to Move It. He had me in some of his stuff. It was really crazy. Then we jumped to Channel 5 News, which is this funny thing I used to do back when I was a kid. And it's kind of funny how later on Channel 5 News would kind of come back on my friend Ian's brother's channel, Shane Meekum 2017. That was wild. We brought Channel 5 News back, and we made it kind of a comedy series. And then I dropped a trailer for this thing called Lord of the Chips, which never happened. I was going to record with my friend Nate. One of my bigger videos, I did a Mortal Kombat lip sync video with Bradley. That one kind of took off. We were kids. The comments were really horrendous on that because we were young kids. And so people were like, you suck. Get this off the internet. You need to kill yourself. You know, that sort of stuff. It's terrible. Terrible comments. But I ignored it. Not a big deal. You know, we were kids, silly kids. People don't want to see silly kids doing silly things on the internet. I get it. I get it. It's the internet. We did a few little RuneScape videos. I had Hypercam downloaded on my computer, so back in the old RS2 days, I did a few videos on there. We went to RuneScape Gathering 2008, which back in those days was wild. I thought that was so funny. Just crazy. Then we transitioned to Blog TV. This is when I started live streaming with all the NORAD Track Santa stuff. Well, before that, but yeah, it was leading into that to entertain the kids because we wanted to track Santa for the kids. It was a noble cause. It was something fun to do around the holidays. We really enjoyed doing that. Taught a lot of kids about geography. That was a really fun thing as well. I'm wondering how many kids got them interested in geography because of our streams, because that was amazing. 15 years of that, and we pushed so many kids to go learn more about geography because a lot of kids, modern kids, they don't necessarily get a good geography education in school, especially American kids, so our education system just isn't the best. But I was just happy to even introduce geography to some of those kids, in other countries as well. Chris said he is going to be streaming a Harold Halibut here shortly over on Red Shirts, guys. So if you want, go over to the Red Shirts Twitch. That will be available. All right. I'm not going to go too far on this. We're going to keep going. Keep it moving. So did some lip syncs with my brother. Did some more Channel 5 News episodes. Ganon 136 shows, kind of what I transitioned it into. Very young-faced kid, very young. I was like maybe 13, 14, going into high school. I got my first pair of glasses in 9th grade, so I was definitely high school. I look like I'm 12 years old in these videos. I can't believe it. And then, around then I started to get a little bit, my puberty started kicking in. I got it kicking in. It was an interesting time. Doing some silly videos, chit-chatting with friends and family. I did a special with my buddy Nate with his little hand puppets. That was fun. Just some more animated stuff. I started doing 4th of July videos. We used to go to the local military base and record the fireworks in the finale. That was so much fun. We used to get so many views on those videos. Insane. And then I jumped into the NORAD Track Santa program stuff, which is basically what I did for about a good solid, 5 years on my end, and then we transitioned into like a 10-year where I was more support and not so much the main person. That was fun. Then we got into those marching band videos I was telling you about. My brother recorded one for me that I uploaded later while I was still in high school. But we did some of those videos, some concert band videos, and then we really, from there, the whole channel kind of transitioned into a support system for our team that was doing the Santa tracking stuff every Christmas Eve. I really wasn't interested in doing videos from like basically 2010 all the way up through now. I'd upload stuff. I'd do some updates, but my YouTube stuff was slipping off. I didn't really do much. I'd upload stuff, but a lot of it wasn't mine. A lot of it was, NORAD Track Santa re-uploads, which they gave us permission to do, of course. I'd upload some more church stuff. We got interviewed on TV way back when. It was like 2011. Yeah, I got interviewed and we put that up on the internet. When we were doing our Santa tracking thing for the kids. That was really cool. Getting to talk to them and being on TV. Then I did some plane spotting videos because I started getting interested in Flight Simulator around 2011. And I've been a flight sim guy ever since. It's kind of stuck with me. It's been 13 years. I've probably got close to, if not more than 5,000 hours of simulator time now, just playing the flight simulator games at home. It's insane to think how much time I've wasted doing flight sim, but hey, it's fun. It's a fun passion, something fun to do on the side. As long as it doesn't eat too much into your personal life, I say, that's all right. Take care of what you got to take care of, and if you got time to do it, flight them away to your heart's content. I did some more Ganon 136 shows. I still did those. I did parade videos. It really was mainly focused on the second half of the year. And I'll have to check that out a little bit, Spencer. Actually, I can do that here on the Xbox. Let me do that real quick. I want to see what he just posted. Something about Xbox's answer, potentially. What is this? Where did you post that, Spencer? Is it general? Let me see where he posted that. Was it in Nerd Reactor, maybe? I saw he shared. Let's see. What is this? He's next gen. What is technical leap? What is this? Spencer, what did you share? Ultra powerful next gen Xbox and might be a handheld. Working on the unique hardware. Big next generation technical leap. Official Xbox podcast today. President Sarah Bond teased that Microsoft will deliver the largest technical leap with the next generation Xbox. Got more to come. There's some exciting stuff coming out in the hardware, and we're going to share this holiday. We're also invested in the next generation roadmap. What we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you'll have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building. That sounds like better development tools, not necessarily architecture. The architecture will help, but yeah, technical tools, development tools, that's been an issue with Xbox. I'm glad to see they're working on that. Speaking of The Verge, Phil Spencer went a step further, teasing Xbox hardware teams are thinking about building different kinds of hardware. I'm very proud of the work that the hardware team is doing, not only for this year, but also into the future, says Phil Spencer. We're really thinking about creating hardware that sells to gamers because of the unique aspects of the hardware. It's kind of an unleashing of the creative capability of our hardware team that I'm really excited about. Perhaps that unique hardware might be an Xbox handheld. And on their blog post, they said, we see a lot of opportunity in different types of devices, and we'll share specifics on our future hardware plans as soon as we are ready. Wow, that's a big release from Phil Spencer. And he even said he's a big fan of handhelds. He's a big fan, but nothing to announce yet. Of course, they're not going to announce anything yet because it's still too soon. I'll check out the PS5 stuff here in a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, back to my channel. We're gonna go through some more stuff real quick because it's been forever since I've been on here. I'm kind of like going on a trip down memory lane, looking at all these thumbnails and videos I did back when I was a kid. Not my best content, but it was still content. It was still content. We were uploading. We were pumping out. Those first 4 or 5 years, we were really pumping videos. So yeah, I graduated high school in 2012. I didn't work my first year. I basically stayed at home, helping around the house. Then I went to college, started working. Got my first job was being an extra on the NBC show Revolution. That was literally my first job, was being an extra. Kind of wild being on set for one day, but that was my first taste of work life, was being an extra on TV. Can't get any wilder than that. I take that back. There's plenty of jobs that could be way crazier than that. All right, so yeah, we kept doing the Norway Track Santa stuff, but yeah, I mainly stuck to the second half of the year. That was a majority of my content on the channel, just doing stuff for the Track Santa every year. I kind of fizzled out. I tried to do a walking vlog series. We did 2 episodes of that. I might bring that back now as an adult, because my girlfriend and I, we help raise a puppy, and he's got to get out of the house. He's got to walk, so I might bring walking vlog back. I'll see what I think. I'll ask the girlfriend if she wants to be a part of that. If she doesn't, it's not a big deal. I don't have to bring that series back. We did 2 episodes back in the day. It was fun, but some things in the past you just gotta let go, and that's okay too. Some more marching band videos. You see, second half of the year, marching band and Track Santa. So that was a lot of that. Then we did the trailer for the channel, #1 place for fun. That one seemed to get a few views. Then we went to the air show, more 4th of July, more marching band, more Ganon 136 show, more marching band, more Track Santa stuff. And that basically was the formula for all of that. So that was an interesting time. Then, like I said, 2015, I did a parody for Baywatch. Got copyright claim for music, but that was only for comedy. I was never pushing that for anything monetary. That was never the idea behind it. I absolutely 100% wanted to do that for comedy. It was fair use, so it's got to stay up. So that was awesome. And then 2015, 2014, 2015, I got hit with the Star Wars craze like everybody else. So I started doing reaction videos to Star Wars content. First one I did was for Star Wars Battlefront, 2015. That was a really cool reaction. I had fun with that. And then I did one for San Diego Comic-Con when they were doing kind of like behind the scenes for Force Awakens. That was really fun to watch. Laughed a little at that one. That was fun. We did our big 2014 interview with Stacey Knott. That got over 1,000 views. That was really cool. And then October, they released, 2015, they released the trailer for Force Awakens. It was the official trailer where you could buy tickets, if I remember correctly. That one got 1.1K views. And then we went right back into the standard tracking season, so I started re-uploading that stuff. And then I started doing it was Rogue One. I did a Rogue One trailer reaction. Then a year after that, we did The Last Jedi. And then I had some old clips from 2015, so I stitched it together in one big video. I did a 2015 throwback video. That was fun. Then we did another TLJ trailer reaction. Did a USA Today behind the scenes video reaction. And then 2 years later, I did one for, or it's like a year and a half later, we did one for Rise of Skywalker for celebration for that trailer. And then just over a year ago, I came back to the channel after a long hiatus and did one for Ahsoka. That was really fun. I enjoy doing trailer reactions. They're fun. You got to be careful with copyright law, especially with, big IPs and stuff like that. So I'm always very careful. If I get hit with a strike or, warning or something, I'm going to take the video down. It's just how it is. I'm not going to keep it up if I don't have to. There's no reason for me to keep a video up if I don't have to. In general. So yeah, that was basically kind of a walkthrough of my YouTube channel from back being a middle school kid way back in the day to now being a full adult grown man at 30 years old. It's crazy what the world does to you in, what is that, 17, 18 years? Yeah. So long YouTube career. Not a lot of videos the last few years just because I got bummed out. I got more into live streaming over on Twitch and just, consuming some content, not so much putting out content. Now, another aspect of this is from 2015 to 2018, I was on a podcast for Star Wars Newsnet. We did a lot of content, and that podcast is still going with a different group of hosts, but it's called The Resistance Broadcast, still hosted by John Hoey and Lacey Gillerin. They're a good team over there. I used to work with John and James and Bill Sheehy, James Bainey and Bill Sheehy back in the day. And it was just a really interesting time. And back when I started, I was with Darth Lexor Kai, Pomojima, Dekka, Darth Zloy, all those guys. So, and who else was it? I'm forgetting somebody. I'm forgetting a bunch of people. Yeah. Anyways, we just had such a good time back then. It was wild. We had some fun Star Wars discussions. I had some of the best moments of my life on that podcast, hosting that podcast. The guests we had on that show. Generally, I took the L slot. I'd sit back while the interviews happened, and I would let them handle the interviews and do a lot of the back scene editing. Left the podcast in 2018 for my own health and just it wasn't going good. I was spending way too much time on that and at work, and it was just getting to the point where it was just undoable. Getting very little sleep. It was affecting my health. It just was not good. Long term, it was going to lead to more problems if I would have kept at it. And I was just at a peak stress level. And then we had some creative differences on top of that. So I just decided, it's a good time to leave. I'm going to leave on a note that's pretty solid. And I handed it off to John and Lacey and James. And they kind of morphed into this new podcast and, took it in a new direction. And it's been relatively successful ever since. And then just recently in the last few months, James left. And so it's just John and Lacey over there. And they're doing their own thing, killing it. and then even started another podcast. Good for him. Keep up the great work. I haven't really been listening to either podcast, but I see the posts on X now and again about like kind of what they're doing and what they're sharing and what they're talking about. And, really cool topic ideas. Cool. Congrats. So yeah, I'm still talking about Star Wars. It's mainly over with Red Shirts Remastered. When it does come up in discussion, we'll discuss things. Generally, it's around the time the TV shows are on, or a new movie comes out, but hasn't been any new movies since 2019. So that's not been too much of a discussion with movies, unless we're doing a ranking or something like that. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I've been in a weird place with it since about 2020. Rise of Skywalker led to some really fun discussions, actually. I really enjoyed some of those discussions. Whether you were poo-pooing on the movie or if you were, you thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I've heard every side of Rise of Skywalker fandom, and it was really interesting. Those discussions were, kind of fruitful. But it also led to a lot of other problems. And I think that really started more so with COVID. With us all being cooped up inside a lot, and some people having more cabin fever than others, not going out and get some fresh air. So when you're stuck inside, and then when you do want to go out, you got to wear those masks. Everybody was just at a high stress level. And so things over the last few years have been kind of a little bit sketchy in the fan community in terms of Star Wars stuff. And I did want to talk about that a little bit today because it needs discussing because of recent stuff that's happened on X, or Twix as we call it over at Red Shirts Remastered, Twitter, X. Because I know there's some people out there in the X community that really want me to address this, so I'm going to go ahead and address it. So I'm sure you guys have seen already the last few days the stuff going on with Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kennel, Nerd Erotic, Star Wars Theory, Star Wars Explained, Molly Damon, and everything over there. It's wild, guys. I've been following the news the last few days. I've been commenting on a lot of people's videos over there, just wanting to give my 2 cents, but just didn't know, how to approach this. What's the best way to approach this? And the best way I can say is being in that seat, doing the podcast since 2015, being a part of the fan community, I think as far back as 2013, 2014, when I joined the Cantina forums over at Star Wars Newsnet, then becoming part of the Star Wars Newsnet team. I got to see a lot of shades of a lot of different people over the years, the good, the bad, the ugly, and not just in that space, just in the overall space in general. I had a lot of great relationships with a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of folks that I don't talk to anymore. There's people I absolutely could not stand back in the day, wouldn't watch them, wouldn't give them, time of day. Here I am, 2024. I'm watching them almost every day. Crazy times. Times will change you. So it's been a crazy situation. So if you haven't seen the videos already, I think so. It started as a campaign on X the other day, saying there was a bunch of just bad stuff coming out from these creators. It was G&G, Ryan Kennel, Nerd Roddick, and they threw Star Wars Theory's name in there for whatever reason I don't understand, because they didn't go after him to cancel him, demonetize him, but they threw his name in there anyways, and it was obvious they were doing it. It was on purpose to loop him in with the others, even though they didn't call for him to be demonetized. It was obvious. So I kind of went through Theory's video, and I went in with an open mind. I didn't want to take one side or the other. I kind of wanted to hear his side of the story as well, kind of how he was going to respond to it. And the best way I can put it is, so we all kind of came in the scene around the same time. So like I said, I joined the Cantina forum around 2014. we were having those discussions over there. Joined the pod in 2015. And we had crossed paths, I think, on social now and again. It was pretty rare. I might comment on something, he might respond back, but generally, I think we probably knew of each other, but didn't really communicate all that much. And then as my podcast grew, 2016, 2017, and 2018, I know we had contacts with other podcasts at other sites and some YouTubers, like Star Wars Explained and Star Wars Explained, sorry. And there's so many YouTubers, I can't even think. I think we might have had talked to Eckhart at one point back in the day. I'm not sure. It's been so long, it's hard for me to remember that. I know for sure we definitely talked to Star Wars Explained back in the day. We definitely talked to, I'm trying to think of some of those channels back there. Might have been, I know for a fact we used to talk to Jason Ward over MSW. That is kind of where things got really heated back in the day. For those of you who don't know, and this kind of is the precursor to some of the stuff that just happened. So back in the day, in the scooping game when it came to news on Star Wars, so before Star Wars Newsnet was Star Wars Newsnet, it was actually Star Wars 7 News back in the day before it got renamed. That was like, as I was kind of getting involved, I was kind of reading it, but I really wasn't involved with that community. And then Jason Ward over at MSW at the time, he was doing his thing. Great. We're both putting out news scoops. It was great. And then I want to say it was around 2014, 2015, we started kind of throwing shade at each other. Because it was more of a rush to see who could write the story first. And looking back on it, it was so petty, for us and for them, it was just a back and forth. At the end of the day, it was just like, all right, we're just putting, we're putting out Star Wars news. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. And nowadays, I've changed. The Star Wars Newsnet team has changed a lot of ways. I see Jason's involved with Star Wars Santa stuff now and again, with Star Wars Meg. He's changed a lot. We've all evolved in different ways since those old early, Star Wars news days. And it's great to see the changes that have happened for everybody around the table. And we're more vocal, more willing to talk about things on social, more willing to message, more willing to DM, get it out there. So it's been fun to see a lot of that over the last few years. More people willing to DM me, willing to chat, willing to, jump in a Discord or, a YouTube stream, do StreamYard like we're doing right here, and chat. It's fantastic. And, we kind of went our separate ways back in 2015 after, things calmed down. And then I specifically remember they had podcasts at MSW. We had podcasts at Star Wars Newsnet after we made the switch to Star Wars 7. Sorry. After we switched to Star Wars Newsnet after TFA, and we were going into Rogue One and Last Jedi because we're not Star Wars 7 News anymore. We got to update it to something new. So we became Star Wars Newsnet, and I specifically remember we had beef starting then afterwards between some of the pods on multiple websites. I'd see some stuff from Star Wars Underworld. I'd see some stuff from MSW. I saw guys on Star Wars News on my own site I was helping run. Everyone was throwing shade at each other for a second time. And I specifically remember, I won't say names, but there were people at all the pods kind of all throwing shade at each other. It was getting ridiculous. I mean, this was truly, I would say, post-Disney buyout, this one was the one that people seem to forget. I don't specifically remember. I want to say it was 2000. It was either 15 or 16. Some of you might remember this from back in the day. There was a lot of beef. I don't know if it was about viewership, follows, or if it was like somebody, said some side comments about another show. I don't specifically remember, but I specifically remember everyone was throwing shade at each other. It was getting really bad. I mean, it was almost as bad as what just happened on X. Let me put it to you that way. There was a lot of snide comments, people talking about, political this, political that. And I'm thinking what really riled that up, and I'm thinking it had to be 2016, it was just it was an election year. And that's a common theme I'm thinking is going on right now. There's a lot of cultural stuff going on right now in specifically it seems to be mostly American politics. Sometimes you'll see like Canadian or European politics pulled into it as well. But it's kind of funny. It's 2024 and it's time again for another, US election coming up at the end of this year. And now we're having another Star Wars war in 2024. What the hell? Seriously, what the hell? It feels like this is planned. And specifically this one on X, I can tell for certain this one is planned. There's no question about it. The posts all went up within minutes of each other. And I gotta say, I've looked at the evidence. I've seen everything that's going on. And I'm siding with the boys in Star Wars Theory on this one. This is utter bullshit. What they're doing, slandering, I can't say slander necessarily because it was online, but libeling you guys is effing ridiculous. But as Jeremy said on his video the other day, it's not hurting us. It's only gaining us more support, more views. Congrats to you guys. You're getting more views. I think that's awesome. Back in the day when I was on Star Wars Newsnet, it kind of around, I think it was right around TLJ time, I used to see the Geeks and Gamers videos back in the day, and a lot of my fellow podcasters will tell you, we didn't take very kindly to, some of the comments and things coming out of G&G. Jeremy, it's honest, 100%, man. We did not like Geeks and Gamers back in the day. We didn't like that stuff. In the Star Wars space, it was like G&G, Mike Zero, and a bunch of these other channels just generally were not well liked back then. Fast forward to 2024 with this, I feel like I side more with those guys, not necessarily opinion-wise. I still have a few opinions I disagree with those guys on, but what I like is that there's a community where you guys can openly discuss things, openly, have a voice, say things. I can jump in the comments, on any video, and I'll get kicked back on some things on there. I see the stuff that they put on there, and it's fun. It's fine. I love having those discussions. It's the cool thing is there's no beef in those communities. You might see something, crazy now and again, but generally it's, I feel like it's more accepting over there now. It's really good. The discussions are being had. And I specifically remember seeing videos recently, I think it was from Jeremy, basically saying it's okay to like bad things. And I 100% agree. There's a lot of stuff in The Last Jedi I actually really do like. Am I admitting it's still a really bad movie that most people don't like? Yeah, that's okay. I'm trying to think. There's plenty of good Star Wars movies a lot of people will still crap on. I know. I've talked to some of those people in the community. Like, I personally love Empire. Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie. Always will be, probably, unless I see something in the future that's more amazing, but highly doubt that. But what I love, it's just an openness to have discussion. That's why I started podcasting in 2015 with Darth Lexor Kai and Pomojima and those guys. I've recently been going back and listening to some of those episodes from early Resistance broadcast stuff on Star Wars Newsnet, and it is such a breath of fresh air to go back to that TFA Rogue One era and listening to those old episodes. It just goes to show me we were open for discussion. That was never not negotiable. We all spoke our mind. And that's what I like with the team I'm at now with Red Shirts Remastered. We're all open to speak our minds regardless of, political affiliation or what we like. Are you guy, girl? Doesn't matter. Just having those discussions matters. And to see these guys, try to get shut down, that's, pardon my French here, that's fucked up. Absolutely fucked up. Let's have these discussions. Let's not shut each other down. And to the YouTube creators out there who think you can shut our voices down, you got another thought coming. Because you're not shutting us up. You might take our voice away on certain platforms if they're run by specific, terms and conditions, this, that, or the other. But one way or another, we're going to get our voice out there via social media, via other platforms. You're not going to shut us up. There's tons of stuff I agree with those people with. There's tons of stuff I really, really, really disagree with those people with. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to have an open discussion, I'm sorry. I'm going to start unfollowing you. I might mute you. I'm actually one of the few people on X that generally does not block people. So if you want to jump in my DMs, feel free to jump in my DMs. I do not care. I want to have those discussions where there's disagreement. I'm okay with that. But over the last few days in the Star Wars community on X and other places, I've seen a lot of very revealing things about people I thought I knew. And I've unfollowed a lot of you. So, yeah. It's been an interesting time because there's a lot of people I thought I knew. I knew there was a lot of people I disagreed with. That was never an issue. But some of the things I've seen, quote tweeted or this, that, or the other, I said, you know what? I don't need this negativity anymore. It's not worth it. It's time to move on, do better things. I've stretched out. I've started looking at different things, different fandoms, and spend more time, playing some games I really want to play, things that have been in my back catalog, for 20 plus years or just recently, so we're just, finding stuff we want to do, playing stuff we want to play, talking to the people we want to talk to, and that's okay. There's never an issue with, opening up your fan community, opening up your discussions. That's fun. Every once in a while, it's okay. Like I might find somebody I 100% I cannot find agreement with. But as long as we're willing to talk at the end of the day, that's what matters. It really does. So if any of you out there are just seeing this for the first time, you're just finding me for the first time, I'm an old Star Wars podcaster who just wants to tell you it's okay to disagree. It's okay to like stuff other people don't like. And my DMs are always open. Like I said, I barely ever blocked anybody ever on X. Unless you're being an absolute dipshit, then I might block you. So, but generally I'll mute you. I'll mute you first before I block you, unless something's really, really bad. Then I might block you. But yeah, like I said, DM's always open. Feel free to reach out. Anybody, others. It doesn't matter where you're at. I'd love to talk to everybody. I see you've got a viewer in here lurking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to chat. Drop a comment. I'm trying to see can I see live chat here? I'm still learning StreamYard, so I'm sorry. If you guys are dropping comments and I can't see them, hold on. I'm going to see if I can figure this out another way. Do I not have commenting open? Hold on, let me figure this out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Of all the people to post a comment, it's you, my brother, Air Force Proud 95. Give a round of applause, everybody. Yes, my brother. Hey, buddy. It's been ages. This is my first test stream. We've been kind of going through the back catalog of my YouTube channel. I've not been active in so many years. I've been kind of following you off and on still, Air Force Proud 95. Just, keeping up with your content, seeing the funny stuff you've been doing on VATSIM. I'm still flight simming on the Xbox side. Just don't have a good PC anymore, so I've been flying over there. Still building up my hours for, my virtual airline with the guys at Delta VA with VAMSIS. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm now with Team Red Shirts Remastered. So if you ever want to see me more often, buddy, I'm over at Red Shirts Remastered. If you go down in the description below, I've actually got the link for our link tree. Feel free to follow us on social. Follow us on Twitch, YouTube. You'll get notifications whenever I go live doing flight sim stuff over there. I'm mainly the only guy doing flight sim stuff over there with our team of guys. So if you ever want to pop by and watch me fly, from an Xbox perspective, still flying airliners, still kicking ass, taking names. Feel free. Hell yeah, brother! Check it out, dude. You're pardon my French. You are so fucking huge on YouTube right now. The fact you're even coming to see me again is kind of mind blowing right now. I appreciate it, buddy. And it's kind of funny. We were just talking about the old NORAD Traxxana stuff when you used to send ads back then. You used to, before you were big, you were sharing your ads on our tiny little Christmas Eve stream. And dude, I can't even tell you like how much that touched me, like as a creator back then when I was still doing a lot of content. I was like, I'll never forget those days. And I still go back and watch them, once a year, every other year. When you used to do FSX Competition Center and how damn fun that was. I'll never forget doing that one in Vegas when I got second place. Freaking loved that. That was so much fun when I was, doing the 737 stuff. Yeah, good times, man. Good times. But yeah, I've gone through a lot of stuff since those old days, and I graduated high school. I got a associate's degree in science. Worked a bunch of different odd jobs. I've been working for one of America's largest corporations ever since. And so when I'm not working, I'm just doing just fun stuff here on the side for Red Shirts Remastered, and just being open to the community, being willing to just talk to people, have these discussions. A lot of people, like I was saying, like, I don't know if you knew this or not. From 2015 to 2018, I did a Star Wars podcast for the guys over at Star Wars Newsnet. And it was a fun few years doing that Star Wars podcast, on top of doing the flight sim stuff back then. And I've been going back and listening to those old episodes again recently while I'm at work, and that's been fun. That reminds me, I still need to go back and watch your most recent video, buddy. The 10 hours video. I'm trying to figure out, is that, did you go to Kai Tak, or is that the newer Hong Kong you flew into? Because if I know you, it's probably Kai Tak, wasn't it? Well, I got you here, buddy. I've got to ask you, now that it's coming in FS 2024, were you a little mind fucked when they showed the hot air balloon in the trailer? As soon as I saw the freaking hot air balloon in the trailer, I was like, Air Force Pride 95. And I was like, they did it. They did it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I gotta hear your opinion on that, man, because that, as soon as they brought hot air balloons, it's coming in the new set. I was like, dude, no effing way. That's like Battlefield when they showed in the Battlefield. Yes, of course, just hoping it can achieve 400 knots. Yeah, it's got to hit 400, or it. Well, I guess you could do it in slew. You could do slew mode. And my biggest issue, and I'll still bitch and complain about it, because on Xbox we're still stuck, with default shit. My biggest issue still is model matching just is so broken. I'm praying so hard they finally fix model matching with this next simulator. Because I can't tell you how much it sucks to see, you'll see the correct aircraft, under their name tag. They don't ever, hardly ever do they appear as the correct aircraft on the ground or, flying by. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'll see, like, it'll say like Cessna 172 and it's like a freaking 737, or it'll say F-18 and then there's like an A320 taking off. I'm like, yeah, that's so, realistic. So I'm just praying they fix that, because if they don't fix it, at least you got more content for your channel, man. You can watch those hot air balloons, hit 700 knots going by you. I mean, hey, more content for you, man. One of my biggest pet peeves too. Yeah. So I haven't been going to FSX or FS Expo. I'd like to go some point at some time when it's a little more affordable in my budget. Just this economy's been shit the last few years, and it's been hard to save money for just everybody. So at some point, I would like to go to an FS Expo. I had a buddy of mine I used to fly with back in the old FSX days. He just got to go to that one in Houston. Was it last year? I think it was last year. He got to go to the Houston one. He had a blast. He had a really good time. Maybe that was this year. I don't remember. It's been so long. I think that was this year. But I saw the new ones coming up here again soon. So pretty cool. And now I'm getting updates. We got Hurricane Francine stuff here. Let me see. I haven't even looked to see what the weather situation is with Francine and where it's going. I haven't looked. I've been hearing about it, but need to look into that. But mainly, yeah, we've just been talking today about just the shit going on in the Star Wars community right now. Just, it's not been a good situation. It's been really shit over there, and people pointing fingers and people wanting YouTubers to get demonetized, and it's the same drama it's been since like 2014, 15. We're just on like round 17 of just stupid effing drama in that community. And there was a period, I think it was like 2020, I left the community for a little bit because it was just getting to be just every time I opened my freaking X feed, it was just like, so-and-so said this. So-and-so should be effing demonetized. So-and-so should be banned from this platform because I don't like their political views. And it's like, I got so sick of it because it was just, I had so many of my friends, some of them, I still stay friends with and stuff like that, but it was just getting to be just so toxic. And here we go again. It's an election year, and these assholes are doing it. They're fucking doing it again. Except this time it's because a TV show got canceled off Disney Plus, and they think they can take it out on YouTube creators, which is the dumbest shit ever because the show just didn't get ratings. I watched it. I watched it all the way through, but let's be honest, it just didn't get the ratings. And you got to consider the facts here. Like, we're in rough times economically. Not everyone can afford all these streaming services. So there's less people watching. And on top of it, it's a show not necessarily anybody wanted to see. And that's fine. It didn't pay off. Move on to the next thing. I'm just tired of all these people just bitching all the time. It's like, yeah, it's okay to bitch. That's fine. I get it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you're doing it the wrong way. You're going after, dude, like, could you imagine, buddy, like, if somebody came after you with a false accusation and said, Air Force Pride 95, we're effing shutting you down. And they just come at you with all these, like, false accusations. They're taking, like, clips from your streams out of context. They're stretching it into a video. They throw that shit up on X and say, fucking demonetize him. Dude, I would be so pissed for you. It's just, I'm sick of this shit, man. That's why I try to take my mind off things. I do other things, but that's kind of part of the reason I wanted to do the stream today is like, I just need to vent this shit because I've seen it everywhere. It's getting real bad. And you got to just have voices of reason in the community. It's like, someone's got to be the, I wouldn't even say necessarily the middleman, but you got to be, putting your foot in there now and again. And just kind of like, yo, everybody just chill out. Stop pointing fingers. Stop accusing. Everyone said, and I've said this since I was back in the podcasting days over there at Star Wars Newsnet, and everyone's got shit to say, but can you back up the shit you say? That's the biggest thing when it comes to any fandom of anything, whether it's a game, comic series, entertainment, televisions, movies. If you're willing to throw a stone, you better be willing to back it up. That's why I don't pick fights with anybody, because like if I can't back it up, like, what am I doing here? We got too many people throwing rocks and not willing to back it up. Next thing you know, like somebody will come back, they'll pop back and they'll be like, "Yo, why are you doing this to me?" And the next thing you know, it's just some pansy, just like that. Just the fact you're even responding back to their accusation, they're like, "Whoa," and they just block you. Nope, no discussion, just blocked. And it's so stupid, man. I just like what was cool about the community we had, late 2000s on YouTube and early 2010s on social. Like we all just freaking, like, even if we disagreed on shit, like we sat down, we talked. There's probably something like I'm sure there was something in your community I probably disagree with at some point. But did we talk about it? Yeah, we freaking talked about it. There's stuff, with my Red Shirts Remastered community. Like Chris might say something I disagree with, and I'll voice my opinion. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're still friends. We still talk. We're all human. We're all going to disagree, and that's okay. So that's kind of the point I'm just trying to get across to people today, is just have the hard discussions and just go into it knowing, like, you're not going to always agree. We're all individuals. We all got takes. We all got differences, and that's all right. So I hope that was enough ranting from me. Hopefully I didn't bore you out too much, but yeah, just got to be honest. And I'm going to try my best to share this out there. Oh, real quick. I do gotta say something about some more stuff about that Star Wars situation. So I think while I might disagree with Star Wars Theory on a lot of his theories, I think the way he's handling the situation has been good, all things considered. Has he been thrown into a shitty situation? Yes, he 100% has. I think the other fellas, this is just, par for the course for them. They've had this happen to them before, 2010, 2021, way back as far as 2018. They can handle themselves. They're fine. Anybody in the Star Wars community out there writ large, just be better freaking humans to each other. I don't care where you line up politically, whatever. Just go into these discussions. Just, agree to disagree. And sadly, one side just does not want to agree to disagree. And I get that. It freaking sucks. And if you come across those people who just, for whatever reason, they're on a power trip. And I know a few of them. And I'm gonna mute them. I'm gonna block them here pretty soon if it gets much worse, because I haven't had to block them yet. But if it gets worse, it gets worse. And sayonara, don't want to talk to you anymore, and that's okay. Because some of these people in these fandom spaces, they claim to be fans of this stuff, and they preach about gatekeeping, and it's all bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. Especially when they become the gatekeepers. So, that's okay too. If you're gonna gatekeep, you're gonna be a dick. Sorry, I'm not talking to you anymore. You waste everybody's time. And you know what's gonna happen if we find out who those people are, if they show their true colors? We're gonna expose you. We're going to point you out and say, look, this guy doesn't have the best ideals for having an open discussion in this fandom. Just want to let you all know. Doesn't matter who they are. I'm sorry. We've hit that point now where it's like, if you are not willing to have that discussion, I don't know. Go into your little echo chamber. Go talk to your friends. We don't care. Just, yeah. We won't get involved with you, and you don't have to get involved with us, but you'll always get involved with the fans because you can't go without us. You're going to try to weasel your way in one way or another to try to get in somebody's good graces, and you'll be just as two-faced as the people that were exposed the other day. So, and I know there's more out there. I know for a fact there's more out there that haven't been exposed yet. So, yeah. I'm not finger pointing at anybody necessarily. Yes. But I'm just going to say, watch your discussions with a very close eye on social, especially X right now. If you're going to have a Star Wars discussion, whether it's Star Wars, or another fandom like Dragon Ball, or, Harry Potter, this or that or the other, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're a fan of, just remember it in the back of your mind. There's a lot of weird global political shit going on, and not just here in the U.S. It's just everywhere. So just remember just to be constantly vigilant, and there's certain things you'll notice when someone's being two-faced and hypocritical. And when you see it, you'll know. So I think that's about it. I think I've covered all my bases. If any of the guys, from G&G or, like Ryan or Nerdrotic or, Theory, or if any of you guys want to reach out and have another discussion, we can go into some deeper discussions if you want. My inbox is always open. Feel free. And to anybody out there, it doesn't matter, what side of the fandom you're on. I always say the same thing. Reach out. Let's chat. You want to invite me on your pod? That's cool. If I do another episode, if one of you guys wants to come on, we'll chat. I'd be more than happy to have you. There's a lot of my friends I'm going to have on some future videos. For sure. We're going to have some hard-hitting discussions. That's kind of what I kind of want to do here at the Ganon Dome. I'm ready to have the casual conversations, but I'm also ready to have the hard conversations because, we've just kind of hit a point where people stop talking to each other, and that's really not healthy ever. So it's time to start having the discussions again. Air Force Proud, buddy, if you're still there, feel free to reach back out to me, whether it's on social or whatever. Brother, I'd love to have you on another episode, coming up. This is just my first little test run. Let's have some nostalgic moments. Let's talk about what we want to see in Flight Sim moving forward. Let's have the hard conversations, buddy. Let's talk about the good times. If you got any criticism for me, buddy, feel free, reach out. Let me know. I'm like anybody else. I want to grow as a creator and, as a person. If you've ever had some beef with me or something, yeah, let me know. I'm cool. I am more than happy to chit chat with you about past beef. Let's squash it. Let's do it like men. Let's kill it. Let's be better humans. I love it. So I feel like we've covered everything there. I'm not going to go into the deep beef with, the Star Wars Explained stuff. Anything that's been said has pretty much already been said. If I forgot something and you guys want me to air it out on a future video, just let me know. I'm not the kind of creator to, do drama discussions. But when I see shit like that happening in the fandom, I can't not say something. Going back to my podcast days, we said what was on our mind. Just the free flow of discussion was so much better. And I just kind of want to get back to that thing where we're not so much worried about what people are saying or the way you've said it. Don't freak out over the way you say something. Just speak your mind. That's okay. If you want to say it a different way than I normally would expect you to say it, that's totally fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, that's basically it. All right, guys. I think that was a pretty good first test run of Ganon Dome. Like I said, feel free. We're going to have the charity link in the description below. We are raising money over at Red Shirts Remastered for FMF and AID Global Association, raising money for the kiddos the rest of the month of September. Our big charity event starts this Friday, September 13th, and goes through the 17th. We're going to be running most of that. FMF Day is officially September 17th. That's going to be our big, big day. We would love to have you guys all show up in there, raising money for the kiddos. We do have some merch available this year, T-shirts, coffee mugs, and more. Feel free to go buy one to help support, an FMF warrior. We have helped so many kids the last 3 years, and it's touching to see what Chris has done with these people, and Milena and everybody over there at FMF. And to know like we were a part of that is pretty damn awesome. Like me sitting there playing Flight Simulator or Fortnite or some silly game with the guys, and we're raising money for kids who need it. I mean, how freaking awesome is that? All right. I need a little break here. I'm going to go watch Chris play some games. But thank you guys so much for stopping by for my first stream. I would love to have more people on here. I know it was early start. I'm going to send out invites for stuff way further in advance so you guys can jump on in here. Would love to have more guests. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It's been a fun video breaking down some stuff, and I'm sure on future episodes we'll discuss some more deeper things that happened, in the last few years. Some of the best moments of my life, maybe some of the worst moments, challenges, we've all been through together or, individually. And just having the discussions. It's okay. Yeah. Just having the discussions. And any of my old, sand tracking buddies from back in the day, if any of you guys want to reach out that are, different politically, I'm cool. Let's have the chat. I would be more than happy to have my old friends on and having those hard discussions, the great discussions, great nostalgic moments. Let's have them. All right, guys. It's been a chore. It's been fun. I'll see you guys over in Red Shirts Remastered over the next few days. Doing probably some Flight Sim content and playing the Division and some more other things as well. Bye, guys.